This works every time someone looks you up, right? It's always working for you at midnight on a Sunday. So your best clients already recommend you, right? What you want, though, is you want to try and transition that very amazing method of marketing, word of mouth, where you get an amazing recommendation. I've looked at a lot of websites over the years, but you get like a list of services, you get maybe a client say great things about us page with quotes in like this nice fancy italic font. You know, we've all been there. That's what we think will close that deal. I think most of the time we're thinking about websites or we have to have them, everyone's got them, but then I think we don't spend enough time on building the websites and making them actually convert. I want to take some very familiar looking people, Lego characters, and kind of demonstrate this a little bit. You've got two characters here, one selling some kind of potion, and then you've got someone here with a microphone that they're trying to sell. Anyway, doesn't matter. Insert the business model here, you know, lawyers, consultants, whatever you want to call it. And then you get this client coming in here to talk to this business. They start having a chat about stuff. It's kind of this one-way situation where you're more often trying to sell, but you've got no one there to vouch for your service, right? So just imagine in an online world, this is the situation. This is your website, the two people, and this is the person kind of looking, but they haven't got this conversational piece, right? Where at least in this situation in real life, this person can say about who they've worked with, etc., etc. And that carries some weight in a text format on a website. But the problem is, it only goes so far. You're not there to answer all the questions in detail, talk about their fears and anxieties around, you know, what you would do for them and how it would go. But just imagine you've got this extra person, kind of imaginary friend, if you like, that just pops in here, pops into their ear and start telling them how great of a company and how great of a job that they did for this person here. And then this person is much more likely to do business, right? In an online situation, a way you can find a happy medium is actually through video content. But you can actually get what they call a video testimonial, a customer video testimonial. So Google is great to get reviews, and that is also part of this. And people can go on Google and check you out. But there's nothing that converts really much better than a genuine customer testimonial video of someone that says what the experience was like. Ideally, when you're shooting this kind of video, it should be something that's kind of balanced. It shouldn't all be everything was amazing and great. You know, that might be the case with your clients. You might have an excellent track record, but you might want to find places where the client gives some opinion of some kind of challenge you work through, talk about some key, you know, points that were discussed, and you help them through the challenges. Try and create it so it's not just all, you know, perfection and making it sound too good to be true, right? Because even though that might have been the case, it's good to give that balanced, rounded piece. There's a lot of chemistry that kind of happens even when you've got an online piece of content or video on your website that works much, much harder for you. Then that customer conversion process can be a lot stronger. And this isn't a manipulation technique. This is just helping that beautiful piece of word of mouth that is kind of the staple of a lot of businesses come to actually be online, so people can actually see and, you know, read and hear all that together in an experience that they are much more trustworthy before you dive in. I'd like to just touch a bit on why text testimonials don't really convert as well as video. So even though you might put them on your website or even Google has them, you know, people read those quotes, but often they are not taking them fully in and not emotionally connecting with them. People will scroll past it and just scroll and get a general vibe for it. But because nowadays on Google, a lot of people get reviews, I would say, will ask their favorite clients, ask their favorite people. And more often than not, people will 5 stars, right? So then everyone, no matter how many reviews you've got, have always got 5 stars. And whereas I find this little bit of a kind of a tension piece, you know, to an extent where you're elaborating a bit more on the process and what you both work through together, you can find that that's a much more genuine way to represent your business so that people understand what they're getting into the more you tell that story from a customer's perspective. And the problem with text testimonials specifically, I think, are that no matter how you've, you know, fully put across genuinely what that person wrote to you, really it always comes across that you are the person saying it, right? So think about the last time you really hired a tradesperson or a contractor or someone to do something around your home. You know, did you call the first name you found, or did you actually go on Google, search for stuff? Did you check out on social media? And I bet not many people were actually doing what I'm describing, which is a video testimonial. So this will actually make you stand out. If you do this genuinely and well with a client that's nicely rounded, that will talk around the process a bit more than just saying, hey, this person's absolutely friggin' amazing, you will actually get a much more genuine connection with that person that stumbled across you. And your business-to-business clients are doing this exact same thing. You know, B2B are looking at LinkedIn, looking at website. They're trying to find some way of connecting to understand what the process was like. But often, especially on bigger websites that have more funding, they look great. There's lots of content information on there. There's no way to quickly relay what the process is like, what the experience is for the client and the customer. This doesn't have to be a long video, right? This could be a 2-minute video of your best client telling a story. Does more than 6 months of post, much better spend of your money for your marketing. And you could just basically strip it down to 3 questions. What was the situation before you started working with you? What was this experience like? And what changed? Don't put a script together. You know, you can give them prompting. Some people get nervous on the camera, so you might want to do a few takes of this just to get people comfortable. But try and get like a unique perspective and take from them to try and just ease them into the situation. Take us back to this example here. If this is your customer testimonial coming here into this person who's perusing the website, imagine what that is going to do for your business, for those leads that are coming to your website and then actually turning away because they don't see any connection, no way of connecting with you as a business. The market is getting harder and harder to stand out. And this is a way that local businesses, I'm based in Calgary, but local smaller businesses can actually get a bit of a step up against those bigger names. If you create more of that customer story, you have a much bigger advantage with these companies that are scared to put opinions out there and get customers to talk on record, etc. like that. So where this stuff ends up, you can stick it on your website, LinkedIn. You can even do it as part of the proposal process, right? You could have like a video that lives not even online, where you send a link to your customer in the proposal or quote that you've given them to just give them some of this information. So it's a unique link to them. It doesn't, rely on the fact that you are going to be present. And the businesses that I see that are winning now are leaning into video content, telling the story, making sure that they're showing that proof. Social proof is a term you'll hear me use a lot in these kind of videos that I put out. So if you've got a happy client and haven't got them on camera yet or got them to do some kind of review that is genuine, I think that's one of the first things you need to look at as a business to make that fix. Not only are you getting some good content out of this, make a thing of it. Like, get your customers to come, get your customers to meet each other even, make a bit of an event day where you have a bit of a party celebration and you could have a room squared away where you get customers to come, get a couple of drinks down them maybe just to ease their nerves and set the camera up and get rolling. Like, you don't even have to edit this super cleanly. You could just make it a very genuine video that you post. And actually people resonate with that kind of content more and more nowadays. If you want that professional level, there's companies that can help you with that stuff. And you'll have a nice finished video that is working for you all the time and will continue to work for you. One thing that I'm giving away is you can sign up to my newsletter. And if you go to the link below, it will give you a little cheat sheet on hooks and how to create good hooks in your content. So check that out and sign up for that and you'll get the document instantly. After that, there's the Engage and Convert newsletter, which will come to you every week and we'll give you tips and tricks about marketing, sales, all that sort of stuff that we do here to help you navigate some of this stuff. So thanks for watching.